What's up, guys? Welcome back to the basement. Nathan, Toolbox, Bert, and the bench is pretty well empty right now. Wanted to make a quick video, give you guys a bit of an update on what's been going on. The past probably week and a half has been absolutely nuts. The field that I tech at with Pro Shop and whatnot, we had a huge event here this past weekend. For those of you who are familiar with some of the scenario teams and whatnot, you probably heard of Bob White Paintball out of Nebraska. You guys are awesome, fantastic group of players, always super supportive of the sport, great people to play with. Well, they came down to our field this past weekend for their first event of the year, which is always Bob White Cave Ball. So they come down and they play in our underground facility, and we broke some records this year. It was it was one hell of a day. We had just under 600 players throughout the day, and by that I mean right under 600 players. We hit a total of 599, which was fantastic. It was a great day of play, and it was so awesome to be part of that. It was part of it last year, and I didn't get to play at all this year, but it was amazing being able to have 600 players through our facility in one day, and not a single problem whatsoever other than our compressor trying to keep up. So all in all, it was fantastic. If any of you guys made it out for that event, thank you very much. We love seeing you guys out. It is an awesome, awesome time every time we have the Bob White guys out. So that was one huge thing that's really been taking a lot of time and preparation here in the past couple weeks. I've also recently been just swamped with tech work here personally, which again is fantastic. I've got some really neat stuff in the works, not of my own projects, but of customer projects. I've got a couple neat old team guns, a couple personal guns, some really neat stuff going on. We've got the chance to work on some really, really nice stuff, which is great. I love when I get to work on some of you guys' markers, because you guys apparently make a lot more money than I do, so I get to work on some really neat, really beautiful stuff without having to buy it, which is really nice. So big thank you to anybody who's sent anything in here recently. I may grab some off the wall here just to kind of show you some stuff that we're working on. Some of them, a lot of the stuff that I've been working on here recently has been some electrococker stuff. Electros really aren't my favorite to mess with. There's just not quite as many little details that you can go into, but I do still really enjoy getting one up and singing, and you know, as always, just turning out a good product for a customer is always really nice. So again, big thank you to anybody who's sent anything in here in a little while, and I promise if I still have your stuff, I will get it back to you as soon as possible. I've also, some of you guys, any of you guys that have found your way here through Facebook have probably noticed that I haven't really been posting, you know, anything here recently as far as what I've been building, my own personal stuff, my own projects. A lot of that is because, like I mentioned in a video prior to this one, I'm trying to save up as much money as possible to buy a small mill. I've got a lot of projects, a lot of custom ideas that have come to mind, and to be honest with you, I'm tired of doing everything with a Dremel or sending it out. So it's been a long time since I've had a mill, or at least had access to a mill. So it's about time. So we're working on upgrading the shop here, going to be spreading some things out, hopefully being able to pick up some machinery here in the next couple months or so, and then maybe we'll be able to do some videos on milling and tooling, and I'll pretend like I know what the hell I'm doing, which is not true whatsoever. But tonight, like I said, I figured I'd just update you guys kind of on what's going on, and probably will grab a couple things off the wall just to show you some really, really cool stuff that we've got going. I'm really, really proud to be able to work on some of this stuff for you guys. So let me snag a couple things just to show you. This is one that I have already been through and finished, but this is a nice little electrococker. If I remember correctly on the milling on these, it looks to me like a ShockTech milling. I am not extremely, you know, familiar with this particular one, just because there's a ton of stuff out there I'm not familiar with. But all I know is it's really pretty, and I was really happy to be able to get this one up and singing. Got everything rebuilt. Everything is super, super happy, other than the fact that the capacitor on the board is not very happy. So did a lot of repair work on this one, full rebuild from the ground up. Everything's polished out, cleaned up, set where it needs to be. Resoldered the battery terminals on the board itself. Got a really cool old school splash ano. So I'm going to be really happy to get this one back to my customer. Super nice guy. So all in all, this one has been a lot of fun. I have a couple other electrocockers, like I said, in the works right now. I also got the chance, because we had such a big event this past weekend, I had a couple guys up that weekend who had some trouble with their stuff. They got dropped off with me. So I've had those to get squared away. There was a nice die. It was an ultralight. Yeah, it's an ultralight because it's a mini. But I had a nice die ultralight that got redone for a local buddy of mine. Also had a nice little 2K build for another local guy. Let's show you one that I am really excited to crack into. This is probably what I am most excited to get into. This one I will probably be doing some videos on what all we're doing through this. We're going to be going through a full ground up build. This was one of my customers' personal markers, and it's always an awesome opportunity to be able to get a hold of something that someone has history with and really put some love and care into it, and get this thing back up singing, better than it ever has. Nowadays, that's what I like to do. I like to give them back better than they ever shot before. So this is one, a beautiful little ShockTech as well. Mostly ShockTech goodies on it. Unfortunately, a little ANS reg on it, but we'll deal with it. We'll make it work. So I'm super excited to be able to get to this one. Like I said, huge fan of the mechanical stuff. Just there's so many more details that we can go into, so many more things we can do with them. So all in all, thank you guys for your patience. As always, if there's anything you want me to cover, any other kind of ideas that you have that maybe you're just kind of curious about, some parts you need rebuilt, stuff you want to figure out how to rebuild, where can I get parts for stuff, how can I make parts for other stuff, just let me know. So thanks guys, we'll see you next time.